Hey everybody, how are you today? Well, today we are going to add some light to a dark landscape photo. So if you want to learn how to do it directly on your phone, follow along. I am Giselle Behrens for myphototvnyc directly from New York City. Today's image, you can download it. Please remember to download your photo on the link below in the description. This way you can follow along all of the tutorial. If you'd like, you can watch this tutorial now, afterwards download the photo as well as the app just to make sure that you can follow along and practice these cool techniques that you're going to learn. Please do remember to subscribe if you appreciate this tutorial and if you feel that you learned something and that you're a better photographer, better editor just for watching these few minutes of tips, as well as like that video. So let's start. Today's image is super cool. We thank Zhao for this photo. It's of the Empire State in New York City. I absolutely loved it, and for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to bring it alive, add some light, add some drama, enhance the sky, and make it look whoa. So I'm over here, and to my right, I have my screen. This is my cell phone screen, and it's exactly the same screen that you're watching right here on my right. It's live, so any adjustments that I am doing, you will be seeing them live. So let's start. Once you have your Snapseed app open, you're gonna have this big plus sign. You just want to tap on it and locate your photo. Today's photo is the Empire State, the one that you just saw. And when you do select it, this is going to be your working space. Now, we don't want to use any filters for the tutorial because I do want to have full control over the adjustments that we're going to be doing. So the first thing that I want you to do is go to Tools, and I highlight it right there on your screen. And we're going to go to Tune Image, right there. Just press it, and we're going to add 100% light. So with your thumb, leave it pressed on the screen and you're going to have a pop-up menu that appears. Go to the first one, which is called Brightness, and now when you are in brightness, just make sure that it's active. With your thumb pressed on the screen, slide it all the way to the right, and that's going to open up our photos. We're going to press check mark, and we're going to do a little trick, that is, we're going to go back in the general adjustments of Tune Image. So I want you to press Tools again, Tune Image, and now go to Brightness one more time. Remember, you just have to press your thumb on the screen like this, and your pop-up menu is going to appear. You can drag it up and down with the same thumb pressed against the screen. So we're going to go to Brightness one more time, and we're going to augment just a little bit now. Around 25. 25 is our number for the brightness, because I want the shadows to be opened up in the buildings. I want to see this information that is there. I want to see the windows and everything. Now we're going to go to contrast, because we did augment so much the brightness. All of our blacks are very bright. So we want to return some density to the photo, which is going to give us that pop and that drama that we're looking for. So we're going to augment the contrast with our thumb, and I'm going to leave it in plus 73. You can see the adjustments that I am doing up here on the screen, and you can actually see that there's a blue bar that fills up as you adjust the particular adjustment. So now that we're good with the contrast, we're going to continue down, and in saturation, we're going to add saturation, because I do want to see those yellow, amazing windows pop out, as well as the sky. I want the sky to be a little bit bluer. But if we do continue to augment saturation for the blues to come out on the sky, then the bottom part of my image, which are the buildings and the windows, are going to look wacky. So we're just going to reset this back, and we're going to add saturation for the windows, and we'll tackle the sky afterwards. So I'm going to leave my saturation in 31. Now I'm continuing down, going to ambience, and we're going to do a negative ambience. Ambience is going to darken up the darkened areas already in your photo. And you can see how the shadows start becoming darker without becoming completely black. So I'm going to leave them in -33. Ambience, -33. Highlights, I want to go and see what happens if I do -100 on highlights. Look how awesome all of this texture on the sky. And if you can see the screen just for a second, you can see here in my red rectangle how the highlights, by lowering down the intensity of the highlights, we recovered all of the information in the clouds. So I'm going to leave it in -100. Shadows just a little bit darker. I'm going to go -11 on the shadows. And warmth, I'm going to leave in 0. So now we go and we press our check mark, which is down at the bottom right. And we go back to Tools. And we press on Details. So Details is going to help us refine all of the areas on the photo. And because this is a landscape photo, we usually want all of the edges to be super crisp, every element to be individually crisp and completely sharp all around. So this is really going to help us give it some dimension. If you pop up the menu the same way with your thumb, you're going to have Structure and Sharpening. So Structure and Sharpening, we're going to start with Structure, and we're going to add. You can see even how the clouds start shaping and just becoming more dimensional. We're going to add 31 Structure, and Sharpening. Sharpening is going to help us refine the edges of each detail. So I'm going to leave it in 20. Now we can always check how the adjustment looks just by clicking on the upper right hand. You have that little icon. You can check out the screen. This little icon is going to help us see the before. You can see that it's a little bit more fuzzy, and the after. If we zoom in, we might see it a little bit better. Here you can see that the buildings and the Empire State is a little bit fuzzy. Now just by adding this adjustment, it becomes crisp and really stands out of the photo. So now we're going to press our check mark, and we're going to tackle the sky. To do the sky, we are going to do a little tip and trick. We're going to go to Tools and select Vignette. Now Vignette, as we usually know it, is going to darken up all around, all of the corners. However, on Snapseed, with your finger, you're going to be able to tap on the blue circle, leave it pressed, and move the circle around. What we're doing right now is moving the vignette and the area that it's being adjusted. So I want you to open up that circle, just like on the screen, with both fingers as if you were doing zoom. And I want you to have all of the city inside of the circle. This way, whatever's inside of the white circle is not going to be affected by the adjustment that we're doing on the outside. So I'm going to leave it right here, and again, you can see the screen. All of the city is protected by this circle, and with my finger, I'm going to drag it to the left to make the brightness darker. Now, if you see, the brightness is already at -50, but I'm going to push it a little bit more, not too much to 100 because then it's just too dark. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to leave it at -78. So we can see the before and after on our small icon to the top right, and you can see how it starts really darkening up right there. And we're going to leave as is. I'm going to press my check mark. My last adjustment of the day is going to be to add a little bit of drama to our landscape. So we're going to go back to Tools, and now locate your drama icon, which is right there on your screen. I did highlight it. I'm going to press it, and now you see that the filter strength is at 90 and the image starts looking way over manipulated. So we're going to reset this filter just by dragging all the way to the left with our thumb or with our finger, all the way to our left. Our blue bar on the top resets back to 0, and we're going to bring up our pop-up menu and go to saturation. Now saturation is automatically set at -40, but I don't want to lose all of the colors that we did. So I'm going to leave saturation on 0, go back to filter strength, and slowly add some filter strength over here. and I'm gonna leave it at plus 39. So now whenever you are on your main window, I did go ahead and press check mark. When we are on our main window, anytime you can press with your finger on the screen and you're gonna pop up the before and the after. So that's gonna help us remember where we came from, see how the image looked when we started this, and you can see how dark it is, how there's almost no texture on the clouds. You can see that the buildings are not highlighted, and now that we opened up everything, it looks like such an amazing photo just by doing these edits, which you can do on the go with Snapseed app, which is completely free and it's made by Google, so you can download it on your iPhone or on your Android and make some magic with the photos you already have. So when we're done, just export it. We're gonna save a copy right over here. You can either save it or share it directly with your family and friends. I'm just gonna go ahead and save it. The export button is here on the bottom right, and that's pretty much it. There you have your before and after using Snapseed app from Google, completely free on the App Store and on the Play Store. So you guys now have the control to adjust any photo that you want on the go. Please do remember to subscribe and watch all of the other tutorials so you can learn how to do portraits, landscapes, and many other types of photos directly on your phone. Thank you so much for watching, and see you today at 3 p.m. in Spanish for another tutorial live in YouTube. Bye everybody!